Have you ever wondered how some of the top coaches, speakers, and entrepreneurs and business owners are able to accomplish so much in their day? How can they be so productive and get so much done? But then when you try it, it feels like an endless checklist that you can't ever seem to complete. Well, what I want to do today on this podcast episode is to show you, is to take you inside my day to day. Well, I'll show you 7 time habits that help me to 10x my income through in my business, right? So, welcome to Wisdom to Wealth. This is the podcast where I get to interview the wealthiest entrepreneurs and business owners in the world. I'm your host, Shamar Star Cox, TV producer and marketing coach. My goal is to help 6 and 7 figure business owners get seen, get paid, and live free by creating binge-worthy videos on social media. In this special solo episode, I'm going to be sharing 7 time habits that help me to 10x my income so that you can also implement it into your business if you want to. You don't have to. You don't got to listen to me. But I know that this has helped me. It has helped me to optimize my time and also release my anxiety around time. I am also the founder of the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. So if you're here, you want to learn how to create content that sells, create content that creates deep connections with your audience, and create content that gets you noticed for big stages and high profile podcasts, then go ahead and DM me the word challenge accepted on Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn, and I will send you a personal invite to the challenge. So I have 7 time habits that help me to 10x my income. Now, before I get into the habits, I kind of want to share with you my journey with time. So I was someone, hey, amazing digital life. How you doing, honey? So I was someone where I always had anxiety around time, right? And my anxiety was I didn't want people to have my time. So if I had to give you my time, I felt weird about giving it to you. And then if you took my time and wasted it, then I was angry and frustrated, right? Like, who am I talking to where that happens to you, where it's like, my time is so precious, I don't want to give it away. And I didn't know why I felt this way until I worked with a mindset coach in 2023. And that mindset coach helped me to understand my anxiety around time. I used to feel like I didn't have enough time in the day. I used to feel like I was always running, I was always rushing, and I just couldn't get a lot done. And she helped me to understand what was my thought process or mindset around time. And it was this: when I was younger, my father used to tell me, I'm coming to pick you up. I'm coming to pick up you and your siblings, right? And we would sit by the window just waiting for him to come, waiting to hear his horn come around the corner so we can run downstairs and hang out with him. And he never came. And we would just be sitting there, and time will be going, 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 and he would never come. And so I started to grow up with this anxiety that if you left me waiting, I don't want to be your friend anymore. I won't even forgive you. And don't even try to talk to me later. You won't even know that I cut you off. I just stopped answering your calls, right? But it was linked to that trauma in my life. And so because of that, I was constantly running through my life. So 2023, I was 35 years old. So imagine, for the first 35 years of my life after I learned how to walk, I was racing through life feeling like I didn't have enough time. And when she helped me to understand that, I started to optimize my time. But I also changed my language too. Right? So instead of me saying things like, I don't have enough time, I started to change my language to speak, I have enough time to accomplish what I need to accomplish today. That helped me to open up my schedule so that now I was seeing things differently. I was seeing things in time blocks, first of all. And second of all, I was able to accomplish so much more, so much so that I had team members coming on to work with me, and they will look at my schedule and they'll be like, oh my goodness, Star, how are you getting all of this accomplished? And to me, I'm like, this is not even enough. I should be doing more. But to them, because they're so accustomed to running on low energy, when they're looking at my schedule, they're just like, you're doing so much. I thought I was doing a lot, but you're doing so much, right? And there's a way that you can increase your energy so you can actually, it's not have more time in a day, but it appears like you have more time in a day. And it all started right here with my mindset. When I got healed from that trauma, then I was able to start seeing time differently. And I started speaking over my time. So you'll never hear me say things like, I have to spend time. I don't spend time anymore. No. I may use time. I may invest time. I may indulge in time, right? But I won't spend time at all, because spending to me come from a place of like, it comes from a place of, I don't want to say from a place of lack, but maybe that's what it is. It's like, for me, when I'm spending, I'm not getting a return. But if I'm investing, I am, right? Another thing, sometimes people will say things like, Star, you're so busy. I don't use that word either because that busy puts me back into that rushing feeling. And I just tell them, nope, I'm intentional with my time, right? So changing my language. So I guess that's the first habit. Changing my language around time helped me to be able to optimize my time and kind of sort of multiply my time. I started getting more done in 1 hour than I ever did before I started to change my language, right? So the first thing was I had to heal from my time trauma. Some of you were like, what? I didn't even know that was a thing. It was a thing for me. I had to heal from my time trauma so that I was no longer racing against time. And instead, we were working together. And then, two, I had to change my language around time so that instead of me saying, I'm spending time, I'm wasting time, I don't do that anymore. Now I'm indulging, I'm investing, I'm using, I'm taking, right? I'll take time to do something. So, all of those things that really helped me, which moves me into my third thing. I was able to create a morning routine. I created a morning routine. So, like everything I'm talking about right now, it helped me to 10x my income for my business. So, I don't work a 9 to 5. I work I work at 8 to 10, or maybe at 8 to 8. I don't know, right? Or 8 to 6, I should say. But that's what I work. And I work for myself. So I needed to be able to optimize my time throughout the day in order for me to fit in clients, create content, engage with my audience, and also have personal time to myself, right? So a morning routine helped me to do that. And part of my morning routine, it was about 4.5 hours long, where I wake up and the first thing I did was work out. Now, why did I do that? I did that because working out helped me to get my blood flowing. So the very first thing I didn't do was start praying or indulging in God's presence. I didn't do that because if I did that, I'd just fall back asleep. I had to get my blood flowing. So that's the first thing I do: work out, get my blood flowing. It releases my, endorphins. It releases that so that I can actually have energy and be excited. I like to work from a place of excitement. Then the next thing I did was I indulged in God's presence, right? So I told you I don't really use certain words anymore. So I don't use words like spend. So I don't spend time with God. I indulge in his presence, or I enjoy time with God, right? So I indulged in God's presence, and I would read my Bible. I would do devotion. I would study. I'm a studier. So I study during that time. And really it helps me to create the day that I want, because now I'm operating from a certain type of mindset. Meditating in the morning as well. I'm meditating in God's presence. And I needed to do all of these things so I can get my body regulated in a space that I can work from a place of excitement. I don't know about you, if you're someone where you've ever worked from a place of depression, you work from a place of sadness, you work from a place of anxiety, you don't get much work done. It's a constant state of worry. Your nervous system is out of whack. Your mind feels like it's all over the place and you can't even think straight. But when I'm in a space of excitement, it's this burst of energy and I can get so much done. Like this morning, my excitement finally came back to me. I was able to shoot 2 YouTube videos. I went live for 1 hour and 15 minutes. And now here I am again doing this podcast. And I still have more work to do. It's only 12 o'clock, right? It's only 12 o'clock, right? So my morning routine really helped me. I also started trading in the morning. So trading stocks and options, that helps me to keep my brain right? But to be honest, I really was doing it so I could make more money. And then motivational rooms. I be in a space where I can be motivated, right? So back in 2023, Clubhouse was a thing. And so I'd go into Clubhouse rooms and listen to my friends speak. Now in 2025, Myron Golden's a thing. So I just be binging him in the mornings. I listen to Kathy Heller with her abundance mindset. Like all of those things help me to get in the right frame of mind so that now my morning routine has prepared me for the day. The next thing that I make sure that I do is I create a schedule. I create a schedule and I account for every hour in the day. That one is huge. So if you're listening now, I want to know from you, like, do you have a morning routine? Do you have a schedule? What are your time habits that helps you to multiply your income? What are your time habits that helps you to be more productive throughout the day, right? And I don't even want to say more productive, but helps you to be productive. You can feel free to drop it in the chat and I'll read it out loud. But for me, this is what I do, right? So I create a schedule, and my schedule I created for the quarter. Because what I recognize is like our life goes through seasons. And so each season, my life changes, so my schedule is going to change. So I created for the quarter, and I follow that schedule. Sometimes not to the T, but for the most part, I follow that schedule. So I actually got that from Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey says he's a very wealthy man. He makes a lot of money. He does a lot. And he said, I account for every hour in the day, including when I sleep. So I'm like, okay, if that's what he's doing and he's successful, that's what I need to be doing. So from 8 o'clock in the morning, I actually pretty much start work at that time now. So 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm going live. 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm probably still live because it runs over a little bit. But 9:30, I'm making breakfast. 10 o'clock, I'm starting to engage on social media, right? So every hour I'm accounting for, even after I'm done with work, right? Like I'll end work at like 6 or 7 o'clock, sometimes 8 o'clock, but then I'm trading again, or I'm watching TV, or I'm resting, or I'm talking on the phone. So I count for every hour in the day. That schedule really helps. And actually, I probably should have pulled up the schedule. I could have showed you a screenshot of it. I share the schedule with my clients today. Always, like some of them want to know, how can they account for every hour in a day? And I share my schedule with them, and they're able to just plug and play. So if you actually want access to it, all you have to do is comment yes. No, don't comment yes, because I'm going to think it's for something else. If you just comment schedule, then I can share it with you. But if you don't want it, that's okay too. But I'm just letting you know, like, that's something that I did, and it really did help me, so that now I'm actually accounting for every hour in the day. And here's another reason why this helped me. Because when you're starting your own business and you're the entrepreneur, right? There are some people who think that you have all this free time during the day. I used to have other entrepreneurs who will call me on the phone right in the middle of my day and try to talk to me on the phone. And I'm thinking they need something, but all they want to do is kick it. And I'm like, I'm not trying to kick it with you. Like, I'm trying to get work done. So accounting for every hour in the day lets me know I'm not answering my phone at this time, because this is not going to be fruitful. It's not going to be the best use of my time. Another thing that I did, so what I say, I said, I had to overcome my time trauma. I had to change my language when it came to time. I implemented a morning routine. Man, we're already 4 in. Was it 4 or 3? I don't remember what I just counted. But we're only 14 minutes into this episode, and I already just shared so many gems on what I do. And some of these time habits I didn't even write down. They just came to mind right now, right? So another thing that I did was I put my phone on D&D. I put my phone on D&D. So my phone automatically, if you have an iPhone, you probably can do this with a Samsung. I'm not sure, because I'm not a Samsung user. But if you have an iPhone, you can schedule your phone to be on D&D. So my phone goes on D&D from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then from 11 a.m. to 8 a.m. Yep. So pretty much it's on D&D from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. That's how my D&D is scheduled. Why do I do that? So that not just anyone is calling me. I used to have family members who would just call me in the middle of the day just to kick it. And I'm like, this is nice, but I don't work a 9 to 5 where when you call me, I can take that 15-minute break, or for some people, an hour and a half break, and still get paid for that. Like, I work for myself. So if I take the break, the work ain't getting done. Right. So I put my phone on D&D, and people see it. They see it's on D&D. So what it does is it trains your people not to call you during certain times. So my phone doesn't go off during certain times unless it's my sister. She calls me like whenever she wants. Little sisters are disrespectful. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She does call me whenever she wants, though. Right. So, but for the most part, everyone's pretty much texting me or emailing me. I even try to, like, my doctors and all of that, I try to tell them, like, let me not say I try. I tell them, if you want to reach me during the week, send me an email, because I check emails religiously. It's kind of ridiculous. I mean, during this podcast, if my emails was in front of me, I would probably check them too. I am trained to check my emails, so that's what I do, right? So I put my phone on D&D. The next thing that I do that is super important is I take breaks. I take breaks. Some of you, you're working for yourself, but you're not taking a full break, right? And I don't mean like you're taking a break and then you are doing work at the same time, right? Because sometimes we do that. We eat and we do work at the same time. But no, like taking a full break. So the morning routine, part of that morning routine is breakfast. And when I'm eating breakfast, it's just me eating breakfast. I don't want to do any work during breakfast. During lunch, I take a lunch break with God, right? So I just started implementing that a month ago, where every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, I just take a break with God. And I sit there and I meditate, I read the word, I journal, I ask him for direction. And that has helped me, because when I felt like I was in a state of frustration, I used to feel like around 12:30, I would feel this pull to go sit with God. And I would ignore it sometimes, but after a while I just stopped ignoring it. I realized he was calling me at that time to have lunch with him. So I have lunch with God every day at 1 p.m. Eastern, even on the weekends. If I don't get to it on the weekends, then I definitely make sure that I'm doing it on the weekdays, right? So taking those full breaks, and I have more than one break. Like I have break for breakfast, break for lunch, break for dinner. I mean, around dinner time, I like to actually be off. But then in between those breaks, I take a quick break in between each project that I'm working on. And that's important because I don't know if you're anything like me where going from project to project, that transition can be hard, right? Because it's like you're finished with the project, but now your mind is ready to rest, and it just needs to rest for like a good 5 minutes, right? So sometimes for me, I just walk up and down the house and I breathe, or I check my text messages real quick because I have accountability groups that I'm part of, and I may be texting in that. And I allow myself to decompress after the project, and then I'm on to the next project, right? So those things help me to optimize my time, monopolize on my time so that I can multiply my money. Okay, that part. All right. So what did I talk about? I said I had to identify what my time trauma was, shift my language when it came to time, implemented a morning routine, created a schedule that accounted for every hour, and then take breaks, right? So that was that. So I did take breaks. So the next thing that I did was I time blocked. I time block so I can get work done. Now, for some of you, that's not nothing new. Some of you probably do that now. You time block, right? But when I create that schedule, it's in time blocks, and it really is helpful. So my goal isn't to accomplish 10 million things in one day because it's not going to get done. My goal is to accomplish 2 to 3 things that move the needle forward in my business. That's it. So each day I'm like, what are the 2 to 3 things that's going to move the needle forward in my business? That's what I focus on, right? And here's the thing, when I don't get those things done, then I don't feel productive. So some of you out there, you want to be productive throughout your day, but you're working on everything that doesn't make you feel productive. You're tending to the children, you're tending to your spouse, you're doing email work, admin work, you're doing all those things, but it doesn't make you feel productive. What makes me feel productive is the goal that I set for myself. So whatever goal I set for that day, I have to accomplish that thing first so I can feel like, I got a lot done, right? So some of that may be finish this client pitch, finish this client project, shoot this amount of videos, write these scripts. And once I make sure I take care of it first, because once I'm done with it, I'm like, I feel accomplished now, right? So that's how I do my time block. I used to be the person that I would have a trillion things on my to-do list. I mean, I still do, but now I just focus on the three. I'm like, even though there's 10 things here, if I could just get these three done, then I'm good to go, right? All right, so I think that was 7, but I'm going to share I'm going to share 3 more because I added like 3 to it. But another one is that I habit stack. I habit stack, and I actually got this from Atomic Habits. Yeah. So when I was learning Spanish last year, I would learn it by attaching it to a habit that I already had going, right? So one habit that I had going was that I take lunch breaks. And during my lunch breaks while I'm eating, I'm just learning Spanish. I'm like, I used to do it on Duolingo. So I would go ahead and I would just do some of the exercises while I was doing lunch. Now, here's the thing. Only one issue with habit stacking is if you don't do the habit, you can't stack. So for the days that I miss lunch, or even on the weekends where I miss lunch, it made it hard to do Spanish. And then you start to train yourself, like whenever I eat lunch, I'm doing Spanish, right? So whatever habit you're doing, you're going to end up doing the stack part because you're training your body now, and now it's accustomed to it. So I do that quite often. I still do it now, but I'm not learning Spanish from Duolingo anymore. So I've just shifted like what I'm doing during the habits so that I can be able to stack. And it does help. I'm not a person who likes to multitask. So I don't do multitasking, but I do habit stack. I do that. Right. Okay. This one is my favorite one. I ask Holy Spirit to give me a sign on when to shut down. Right. So I used to be the person, I still am this person. It's hard because I like to work. That's how I am. I'm a worker bee, worker bee. I think it's a Cardi B reference, right? But I would work till like 10 o'clock at night. And I remember I had to start training myself to stop because like right now I'm a single woman. I'm not married. I don't have any children. So really I am my entire world. In my entire world, I really like to work and I will just work all day. But if I want to get married and I want to have children, I cannot do that. So, what I started to do, because it was hard to stop working, I started to ask God to give me a sign on at a particular time. I would tell him, like, at this time, give me a sign so I know to stop working. Son, how many of you know when you ask Holy Spirit to do something, he would totally do it? I would be working, and when that time came, I would feel cold air on my head. And I'm like, where's that cold air coming from? So random. No windows are open, nothing. And then I just keep working and I will feel the cold air on my head. And I'm like, what in the? And I'm like, oh, that's Holy Spirit. I totally asked for a sign. Right. So that happened day one. Day two, I'm working again to get to the time. And I feel cold air on my head. And I'm like, I got it. It's time to stop working. Right. So you can partner with Holy Spirit. He will help you. Now, let me tell you this. If you ask him to do it and you ignore his sign, he'll stop. So I recognize, like, he's just giving me the assist in this moment and I need to honor it. So now, like, we did that for 3 days. And after that, I started to set an alarm. At this time, I should be going to bed. Right. And so now, instead of Holy Spirit putting cold air on my head, my alarm goes off and I know, like, it's time for you to get to bed. That's it. Right. So that's a simple hack. It's amazing. And then the last thing I did, no meeting on content days, no content on sales days. Right. So what does that mean? I have particular days in my business where it's dedicated to content creation. So I've set up the days where I have no meetings. Now, I'm not going to front. I haven't been honoring it as much lately because these meetings, I don't know, I have no excuses. I don't like making excuses, right? But for the most part, throughout the day, Wednesdays are my days to create. So that's where I'm scripting my content for the most part. And then Thursdays is when I'm actually shooting. So Wednesdays and Thursdays, I have no meetings throughout the days. My meetings probably start like in the evenings around 4 or 5 o'clock, right? So that's what I do there. And then when it comes to me selling, so my selling days are Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. I have no content days on those days. I don't shoot, I don't write, nothing. That's all devoted to prospecting, engaging, and selling. That's it, right? And I set my schedule up that way on purpose so that I can get the bulk of like meetings, sales calls, engagement, the bulk of that work done during those time frames. And then when Wednesdays and Thursdays hit, it's just content creation days. There's some of you here where you don't have dedicated days. And so when it comes to you trying to shoot videos, let me not say trying, when it comes to you not creating your videos, not going live, it's because you don't have dedicated days to do it. And when you do set the time aside, you allow everything else to disrespect your time, whether it's children, it's family, it's clients. Like for me, I have a very much like, this is my content day. I don't schedule meetings during that time. I don't schedule any other thing else. Like this is what I'm going to use to shoot my content. Do you know how much that has helped me? In 2023, I scaled my business to 6 figures. In 2024, we nearly hit 6 figures. We were very close to hitting 6 figures again, right? In 2024. But each month we were able to hit 8 to 10K months in my business. Now, this is huge for me because one, I just started my business in 2021. Number two, I came from a place of working in corporate. In corporate, the amount of money that I can make, the most I've ever made working in corporate was $72,000. It didn't matter how much I negotiated, which sometimes I barely did because I was afraid to. The star that I am now is not the star I was back then. But it didn't matter how much I negotiated. It didn't matter how much I got promoted. Each time I got promoted, it was only like $300 extra, right? And so I've never made this much money before for myself until I started my business and I got disciplined in content. Now, here's the thing. There's some of you out here where you're like, content is not that important. It's not that serious. But I'm going to just tell you this right now. King Solomon was the wisest king in the world and the wealthiest king in the world. And he had 3,000 proverbs that he wrote. And he had speaking engagements. And people sought his presence all around the world. If he did that way before Jesus entered this world, in flesh form, and it was important then, how much more so in 2025? How much more so in 2025 when Jesus was walking this earth and he was building his following and his community? He also created content. All those parables or stories that he told, the healings, the signs, the wonders, the teachings that he did, that was content. They just didn't have a video camera. But they recognize, if I'm going to reach my audience, I need to have juicy content that's going to attract them. And so for me, and I can speak with such conviction now, for me, I used to feel like, or people would make me feel like I was spending too much time creating content. But what I have learned about myself is this is my brand and this is what attracts the people to me. If they don't know I'm here, then I have no one to sell to. So I make sure that I focus on the content because I recognize the power of my video being in rooms that I've never been in yet. My video entering homes that I don't even know the people yet. Like, that's how powerful your video is. My videos will travel this world 2 times faster than anything than I could ever do, just by someone seeing the video and sharing it. We've all heard of the influencers, the business owners who have blown up on social media, completely taken off. Now they have their own lines in Target, they have their own record deals, they have their own business studio, all of these things, all because they had content that blessed people. So when I doubled down on my content and I optimized my time to do that, I was able to 10x my income. Let's see what happens this year. Will I be able to 20x my income? Right? All right. Oh, this is the first time I get to wrap up early. So if you were blessed by this episode in the podcast, feel free to share it with others. We do have the podcast Monday through Thursdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. I don't think I'm having one next Monday, but I'll probably have one on Tuesday or probably Wednesday. I think next week my schedule got full before I could schedule out these podcast episodes. But if you're loving Wisdom to Wealth, feel free to share it with other business owners. If you want to be a guest on Wisdom to Wealth, just shoot me an email and say you want to be a guest. We always ask that our guests come in and you already hit a certain income level for your business, because we can't call you the wealthiest business owner and entrepreneur in the world if you only made $1,000. Like, that just wouldn't make any sense, right? So we want to talk to the business owners who are already successful. So if you want to be on the podcast, feel free to shoot me an email and I will go ahead and get you all scheduled. And then if you want to learn how to create content that sells, you want to learn how to optimize your time so that now when you're putting out your content, one, you don't feel exhausted. Two, you actually feel excited going live. You feel excited shooting your video content. It's good quality. Your people are blessed by it. Then go ahead and DM the word challenge accepted on Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And I'll personally send you an invite. If you're watching this podcast episode, you can just comment the word DM accepted. Comment the word challenge accepted, and I will send you a personal invite. Or you can go to the website content2cashchallenge.com and secure your VIP experience ticket. In the VIP experience, we help you to create content in 5 days or less, right? We show you what content grows your following, what content gets you sales, and what content gets you the engagement, so that now you're not showing up trying to figure out what to post. I get people who tell me oftentimes, I'm trying to figure it out. We take the figure it out of it, and we just show you how to do it. We've had clients come in through the challenge who were able to make $750 in just 3 days. We've had clients get 30 leads overnight. We've had clients go viral and get 60,000 leads 2 weeks after the challenge has ended. My question to you is, would 60,000 leads break your business or build it? Right? Would it break it or build your business? So if you're like, that's what I want, especially if you're a business owner where you're accustomed to getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and you've tried social media several times, you've even had media appearances. Some of you have had media appearances that has done nothing for your brand. You got the visibility, but you didn't get any profitability from that. And it's not because the visibility didn't work, it's because you didn't work. You didn't have a sales system set up so that when you got the exposure, you can actually convert the people, right? And so we show you how you can do that. So as you increase your visibility, you also increase your profitability. Because the reality is, and this is a mindset that I give all of my new clients, I give it to my entire audience. I'm going to give it to you now. When people see me, they pay me. When people see me, they pay me. So if you want to get paid more, you got to be seen more. But here's the thing, you don't want to be seen without having the sales system set up, because you'll go viral. You'll get the calls for podcasts. You'll get the calls for the big media presentations, but then people won't buy because you don't know how to set up your sales system on social media to get your audience from viewing your content to actually buying from you. So if you want to learn the tools and how to do that, and you want to learn it in 5 days or less, feel free to go to content2cashchallenge.com, secure your VIP experience ticket, or you can DM the word challenge accepted on Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn, or you can comment the word challenge accepted on YouTube, and I will personally send you an invite. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you next week.